folks. So when you guys are ready. They're going to win a championship. Because each one doesn't lose. Look at good to be here. Castle Group Podcast, Fix or Flop. Once again, Joseph Castillo, and I should be looking. On camera. Camera 2. We're on camera 2. Oh, now you just switch it to camera 1. Just let me know where you're going to be. Yeah. So you're on 1 right now.
Yeah,
so this is 1.
Yes, sir.
So when I see the 1 is lit, I look here.
Yeah.
When I see the 2 is lit, then I look here. But I want to make sure we're talking to the audience and not to the computer.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the computer. You got the computer there, you look at that screen, But good to see everybody. We're excited to be on here today. Stanley.
Yeah, it's been a while, right, Joseph? Since we did our last Fix or Flop, like 2-3 weeks.
Can I show them what you made?
Yeah.
I'd like to show them what you made.
Yeah, of course.
He made a new video for our. Actually, it's for one. It's for a website, a multi-million-dollar website that matches borrowers up with buyers. And this is a product of UWM. So we made a video for it, but I liked it so much that I said, let's just put that on our YouTube, So I'm going to see if I can show you guys that video. I'm not sure if I've downloaded it to this computer, but I can. So let me see. I think I could do a screen share.
Yeah, you can.
So let's go to Stanley, and then it should be right there. Boom. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to share. Let's see. Share slides, a PDF. Share screen.
Yep.
And there it is. All right, guys, check this out. Tell me what you think. Stan made this one. I love it. Thanks for visiting our profile. My name is Joseph Castillo. I'm the president and founder of Castle Group Mortgage. Me and any person on our team is happy to serve you. A first-time home, whether it's an upgrade to the dream home or whether they're into investing, fixing, flipping, new construction, we do it all. Castle Group Mortgage is the place for you, and we promise white glove service.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's great,
the color pop was a lot better. Yeah, way better.
Yeah,
it was really washed out before. I had no idea why, but I'll fix it.
Yeah. It's still not perfectly like live clear as you did when you first recorded it
with the phone. Yeah,
with the phone, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So guys, I hope you liked that one. I wanted to share that with you, just because I was so excited about what Stanley was doing, and I just got back from. Well, I was a few places. Me and our VP was in Sarasota for a couple of days having vacation. And just so you know, this is not a cigarette.
That's
Stanley
what I
was
thought.
asking me, are you smoking a cigarette?
No, I thought it was a cigarette. That's my initial thought. Because it's not a cigarette.
No, yeah.
But it's a cigar, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say cigarette. You said cigarette. And I'm not sure what they actually call them. But
I think they're just skinny.
I think I have them here.
Skinny cigars?
I have them here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And so this is the Liga. Today's cigar of the day is the Liga number 9. Liga number 9. And this is, like you said, a cigarette.
Yeah.
So you don't inhale it. It's not, full of chemicals and carcinogens. It's all natural, high quality premium cigar.
Yeah, they look crazy.
Yeah,
like
they're really cool.
I looked the look. They look great.
And what's nice about them is they only last a short time.
Yeah.
So you're not sitting there. A lot of times you light a cigar up, it's like a 2-hour commitment.
Right.
So with this, you're not making a 2-hour commitment. You're saying, I'm going to sit down for a half hour, relax, have a conversation, and enjoy a nice cigar. So I found these at the Burn. I went to Burn, Rick. That's your favorite guy's place there, Rocky Patel's cigar lounge. And I have a story. So I'm gonna take one of these things out. No, I'll tell you. No, I'll tell the story because I'm gonna tell it to the people on TV too. So I met this guy.
Uh-huh.
He's a investor with Rocky Patel Cigars. Okay. He didn't tell me how much he put in, but he said he put in money. Rocky had him down in Estel, Nicaragua, at their compound and stuff, and they have like a big house with 20 bedrooms there, and where they host parties and stuff like that. I'll tell you some of the dirty stuff later on, you know. But he said that his brother Anish, he has a brother named Anish. Oh, you met his brother. So he said his brother's. That's what he told me. They said because I told him your story, and I said I banned Rocky Patel. I'll never have another Rocky Patel again. I said he's a jerk. I'm never gonna buy a cigar after I became friends with Rick. I'm like Italian old school. If he did you wrong, he did me wrong, you know. Mm-hmm. And he told me, he said, well, no, it's Anish. He says is a really nice and friendly guy. He said Rocky Patel is actually he's an introvert and he's a womanizer. Yeah. So he said that he don't really talk to people and network with people much. Like, he kind of shy unless he really needs to because he has to. But he'll be all over the girls.
He's a Los Angeles attorney.
He's a attorney?
He's a Los Angeles attorney.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so basically he's an introvert, but if there were any women around, they said it guaranteed 100%. That's all he probably wanted to talk to, you know. So I said that makes sense because that was kind of my friend's experience, you know. And I said, I could understand that. So I went to visit his lounge called Burn. He has really beautiful lounges called Burn. One's in Naples, Florida, I believe. We have one in Atlanta. So I picked up this Liga number 9, you know, cigarello type pack. They're pretty good, you know. They're $21, and you get a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, for quickie.
Yeah, for quickie. Yeah.
It has a smoke.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 to $21, and they last about a half hour each.
Not bad. And
Not a bad deal.
Is it smooth? Is it?
Oh, very smooth. It's great.
Nice.
You want to try one?
Yeah, no.
And you know, they're expensive. I don't want to give it to you. But you know, one Liga cigar could be $18, $17. So you get 10 of these little ones for $20. That's a steal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I wish Tom would get these. Now he does have the Davidoffs, and he has the tobacco. But the tobacco, isn't that flavored cigars? The tobacco? I never had tobacco. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you the rest of the story later. Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fat bottom Betties. So, anyways, these are the Liga number 9 cigar of the year. Cigar of the podcast.
Of the podcast. Whenever we make the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
you were talking about that attorney guy. It reminded me of another very popular attorney or lawyer. His name is Jay Sosa, Jay something, but he's notorious for breaking people out of every type of lawsuit that you can imagine. You search him up, Jay Sosa.
Really?
He's very TikTok famous, extremely TikTok famous.
Really?
Yeah, anything that you would do. Jay Sosa, the lawyer.
I'll let you look him up. You want to look up a fact about him.
Really popular guy.
But let me just say, the comment I made earlier about Rocky Patel, we might have to edit that out. Allegedly, I don't want to say womanizer. Allegedly, let's just say he likes women. Which who doesn't? Who doesn't like women, right? You know, I like women, and my woman's name is Jade. That's my wife. That's the one I like. You know, and I like my mother, and I like my grandmother. So I like my 2 sisters, so you can say I like women.
His name is Jayoma.
Jayoma or
Jayoma? Yeah, Jayoma, lawyer, TikTok. Let's see.
Oh, he's a TikTok lawyer.
Yeah, he's a TikTok lawyer. This guy right here, it's insanely popular guy. Really? Insanely popular.
Is he popular through TikTok?
Yeah, he's popular through TikTok, Instagram. Essentially, he's like the Instagram's lawyer. He can get anybody out of anything. It's kind of crazy.
Really? On Instagram or TikTok?
On both platforms. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be very funny. Yeah, check him out.
Let me try and find.
Yeah,
Jay.
OMA.
OMA. J. Oma lawyer.
Yep.
Omaha. J. Omaha lawyer.
Yeah, J Oma. Yeah. That's the guy.
Oh, there it is. Okay, follow.
But a lot of the cases are very, very dark. So,
well, I'm gonna enjoy watching this.
Yeah, it's
give
great.
something to.
because I know you work with attorneys too, like lawyers, financing, helping people to buy homes. How does that work? I'm curious, because I know mortgage brokers work with lawyers too, right?
Okay, good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
And that goes to something that maybe we could talk about at our staff meetings.
Yeah.
One of the things that we need to do if you're a mortgage broker, as we are, you're in the mortgage industry, you want to build up your partners, your equity partners,
Mhm.
And so your equity partners, everybody knows realtors. So everyone knows, I need to work with the realtor. But you could also work with insurance companies. You could work with lawyers. You could work with CPAs. So especially divorce attorneys. So when it comes to divorce attorneys, when people get divorced, they have to split up their estate.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes they have to refinance the husband off the house or refinance the wife off the house. And then they're going to take their profit, whatever the split was they came out with, and they're going to buy a new home. So the divorce attorney could say, hey, listen, my guy Stanley from Casa Group specializes on these situations.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to refinance you, get your portion of cash out, and help you buy a new home.
I get it.
So you could get, on a divorce, you could make 2 to 3 deals.
So then who's going to be on the lien since now they're separated?
Oh, well, there's the divorce. So now they're going to be by themselves.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, yeah, I mean, it's possible to get even 3 deals out of divorce. Cash out refinance on the house. The husband buys the house, the wife buys the house. You got 3 deals, and the house might have been transferred over to one or the other.
I see.
And because they oftentimes they want to downsize. So I no longer need a big house. So what we'll do is we'll cash out refinance the house. We'll take out, say, $1 million. $500,000 to the wife, $500,000 to the husband.
I get it.
They'll go buy both a smaller house and the big house that they have. They'll either put it on the market or rent it out.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
So you could even get 3 deals on a divorce.
Yeah. So get the equity out and then sell the home.
So we're not chasing ambulance and looking to capitalize on people's hurt.
No.
But it is what it is. If they're divorced, they have to get a new house. They have to refinance the existing house, take one person off the title or whatever. So therefore, someone has to service them. Why not it be somebody who cares about them, somebody who's sympathetic, somebody who's going to put them in the best situation, help them save the most cost, and do it as fast as possible. We know brokers, we average 9 to 14 days on a closing, and a bank could take 30, 45 days on average, 45 days. So it's better to just go to a broker. You don't have to go into a big bank, and you can have the broker come to your house, sit with you, hear the situation, get the paperwork, keep everything private, discreet. So working with lawyers are one of the primary ways that mortgage people could build up their business.
Yeah, you said something about it would be a pretty bad business. Imagine it's just a funny situation. Imagine being a home wrecker and then you make 3 deals because you wrecked a marriage. You know what I mean?
You did it yourself.
because you wrecked a marriage, you caused a divorce, and then you make 3 deals for yourself. That's horrible.
Yeah, so watch out for those women, those sexy women, loan officers
or men,
because they could be trying to get the deals.
Yeah.
They come in to be the home wrecker. And then they get the deals.
Especially women too.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a black woman mortgage lender strategist like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one mortgage broker that I saw. Usually, the mortgage industry was usually old white men.
Right.
That was the reputation of the mortgage industry. Matter of fact, this week, at this meeting, I went to Equity Prime Mortgage, EPM. Their yearly event is called TAG. TAG stands for the American Gift. And matter of fact, I could probably show a little bit here. Let me see, the American Gift. Let me see, TAG. I can share this with the audience here. Share screen, TAG, boom. So this is the website. This is the event that I went to. EPM is one of the big mortgage lenders in America. And it was at the Mercedes-Benz Center. And we had Jordan Peterson, Kevin Hart, Dave Portnoy.
Wait, Jordan Peterson was there?
Jordan Peterson was there, yeah.
Wow. What the heck?
You know David Portnoy, the pizza, he owns Barstool Media, but also...
Yes, I know that guy. Yes.
Yeah. But
That's
he
crazy.
also goes to pizzerias all over the country.
Wow.
And T-Pain did a concert there.
No way. Wow, the world is smaller than I suspected to be.
Yeah, so I was there.
Wow.
So Kevin Hart was fantastic.
Kevin Hart was there too.
Yeah. I could have met him.
EPM.
Yeah.
EPM business event.
EPM, yeah. I could have met him,
Wow.
but I was trying to rush out afterwards to meet somebody. Then we had Jesse Isler. I don't know if you know him, but he owns the Atlanta Hawks. He's a bigwig. You know, he started some kind of water company. Coconut water company. He owns the largest private jet company in the world.
Wait, what coconut water is it? Like Goya?
Zico coconut water.
I haven't heard of it.
When there's David Portnoy, you know, Barstool Pizza.
Yeah.
But he's really best known now for his not Barstool Pizza, Barstool Sports. But he made millions of dollars on that. But he's really known for pizza.
Yeah.
He goes around to pizzerias, takes one bite.
Yep.
One bite, you know the rules, and he gives it a rating, 8, 7%, whatever. So that's Dave Portnoy.
Funny guy. Love his videos.
Yeah, and then Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. He's actually great.
Oh, he was incredible.
Amazing.
I sat front row, and then I met and talked with them. I went up, I had a conversation with them, we took a picture together. That was surreal.
He's actually one of the most important people for men's mental health. One of the most, if not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Crazy. I mean, I would have to say his lecture was life-changing. To me, it was life-changing.
And he's not even a preacher, Joseph. He's a psychologist.
Yeah, he's a psychologist. Yeah.
He could pass for a preacher, though.
He could.
Yeah.
He could. I don't see the pictures yet. I don't think they've uploaded the pictures because the picture on here with me and Jordan Peterson. So one of the things they said that back in like 1998 or 2006, they said there's a problem with the industry. They said the industry is too old, too white, and too male.
Mm-hmm.
Too old, too white, too male. And so what they were saying was, and I'm not saying that's a problem, but what they were saying is they're not going to really get the lion's share of the market when the market has multiple colors, has women, a lot of young investors, you know. So they set out to diversify the mortgage industry, right? And so that's something that was a big thing in the mortgage industry that they tried to really implement, you know, in the 2000s and so forth. And that's kind of our strategy, right? We have Vietnamese, Egyptian, Nigerian, Chinese, Spanish, Gypsy. So we have all of these different races in our company, and we're trying to target, you know, the ethnic groups, the Indian and Pakistani, and we're trying to service the most underserved people, and we're doing great. I had a meeting today with West Cap Lending. They're top 5 maybe in the country. Matter of fact, remember the Asian guy you showed me? Min.
What does he do again?
He's a mortgage broker on Instagram.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
And you told me we should follow him.
Really popular guy. Min.
Yeah, well, he works for them.
Wow.
So that's the company he works for.
Wow.
You know, Min. And they were saying, hey, listen, you just opened up in January, and you are the top 25% of our company. And we have, you know, like what it was, I forgot what he said. And he said that you're top 25. We want you to come work with us. So I told him, well, let's just look at the numbers and we'll think about it. But I kind of like entrepreneurship, doing it on my own. I saw a quote today that said, entrepreneurship is jumping out of a plane or jumping off a cliff jumping off a cliff and building the plane on the way down.
Oh. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
And that covers all the bases. That's about right.
So that's what this entrepreneurship is. So we're seeing increasingly more different ethnic groups come into the mortgage industry and women.
Yep.
You know, and now a lot of beautiful, young, attractive women have been dominating the real estate space, because if you have these, you know, married, not married, wealthy or middle class guys, and they're looking for a realtor, they're gonna choose the hottie.
They're gonna choose someone interesting.
Choose that sexy
someone
girl, you know what I
super
mean?
interesting. Yep.
And so it's kind of an unfair advantage if you're a male realtor to have to compete with some of these beautiful women realtors, you know. And but it hasn't seen much of that in the mortgage industry. The mortgage industry has been mostly too old, too white, too male, you know.
Remember before, Joseph, we wanted to make mortgage sexy. Remember that? Or more interesting? Yeah, definitely.
No, that came from Patrick from PHP.
Yeah, there's a guy, his name's Patrick.
He was saying that it's their job to make insurance sexy.
Yeah, I agree. Insurance, when you think about it, is like not really. It's more like a friendly hug.
Yeah. But he said we want to make insurance sexy, and that's why Patrick Bet-David, he started the strategy of recruiting women. So his company is mostly women. PHP is mostly women.
Yeah, that's a good thing, you know, empowerment to them, you know.
Empowering the women.
Empowering the women.
And oftentimes women will hustle more than guys.
Yeah.
You know. I even heard a pastor, he has 1 million members, and his church was struggling to grow. And then he started making the women to be pastors.
Right.
And then they took off with it, and they made it a 1 million people church.
Wow.
You know, so, you know, women do have a lot of abilities. Matter of fact, I'm looking for a good woman in our company that has either a gay. I need either a flaming queer, or I need a woman, you know, in our company, that, because some of the things that women could bring is a lot of events, activities, socials, networking, you know, wine and dine nights. You know, we don't have anyone in our company that does those things. So we need to have one of those kind of socialites.
Yeah, the social, hypersocial people. Hypersocial, right?
Yeah.
And I know the exact point you're talking about. There was this guy, he was an entrepreneur, and he said that having female acquaintances, female coworkers, friends, especially extremely beautiful women, are one of the best networking things that you can do. It's because they know so many people. It's because they talk to so many people. They know so many people. Especially, it's just how it is. In the realm of networking, it's amazing.
Now we have a lot of beautiful women in our company, Gadir, Amina, Mimi, but they're all married. So we need to recruit some young, beautiful women to attract more clients.
We do have Katrina, but I don't know if you want to count her.
Yeah. We just got Katrina. She's beautiful, but she's in Brooklyn. You know, she's in Brooklyn,
and she's
New York,
Russian.
you know,
so she's very mean.
Russian. She's very mean.
She's the sweetest.
She'll be happy to say she's beautiful. She'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
So she's gonna be mad and angry at me at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice to me. She's nice to me. So
no, she's a sweetheart. She'll chew you out.
Yeah, she will.
You know, and realistically, she'll chew you out, but she's a sweetheart.
It's like a kitchen, you know. You're hard on each other in the kitchen.
Yes,
but then
exactly.
You know, it's just the heat of the moment. It's just how it is.
Like just a restaurant environment. You know.
Yeah, you watch The Bear.
We need this. We need that.
The Bear. It's a great example. It's a show. The kitchen environment. It shows like how hard it is to own a business, especially the restaurant business. It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting show.
Oh yeah, I had a restaurant, and our kitchen was like that.
I can't imagine.
Where's the pepperoni? I put it back there. No, you didn't. You freaking idiot.
Oh.
It's right here.
Yeah.
You left it out in the fridge overnight, you know.
Believe it or not, you know how I said you're a mafia boss, Joseph? And you own an Italian restaurant. I don't know what's more. where's the clapping sound? This one?
The clapping? That's the clapping.
Yeah. You know, that's crazy. But I remember you told us about your restaurant business, and you said you wanted to do it again, but correctly this time. What do you think about?
Well, I didn't say I want to do it again. I said if I did do it again, I would want to have 150, 200 grand up front just for training and having them employed, coming to work every day. You know,
payroll, yeah.
before we open.
Right.
You know, so if they could be there a month, 8 hours a day for a month training, you know, taking orders, memorizing the menu, you know, ringing people up, bringing up different various orders, you know, pull the ticket, cook it out, get it out, and, you know, just dress rehearsing for a month before. Because when we opened the doors, we had people lined up to get in. It was packed, and we couldn't keep up with it.
Couldn't keep up.
We couldn't, like, just the amount of time looking for extra mozzarella.
Oh boy.
You know, so you have your iPad, and 10-inch pizza, a pepperoni, mushroom, the extra mozzarella. You know, and you're clicking the buttons trying to figure out where's the extra mozzarella, and people are lined up and like, come on, hurry up, buddy! You know, where's my pizza? And you're like, and you're trying to ring up the extra mozzarella, and then you're like, you know what? Just throw extra mozzarella on it. You know? And
yeah, it's a hell. It's hell, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard even the smallest restaurants need a good cushion of over like $75,000, $100,000 of good cushion to keep afloat for a little while. Yeah.
And by the way, don't switch cameras because we're out on camera 1.
I noticed.
Yeah, so stay on 2. Yeah. We got to make sure that's charged up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I'd ever, if I did a restaurant again, I would be more of a silent partner, and I'd want to have the capital to make sure it's done right. It would be an investment, a big investment up front. And, you know, I wouldn't mind having a restaurant, cigar lounge type thing.
Why not a coffee and cigars? I was thinking you love coffee and you love cigars.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and coffee isn't as bad as the restaurant, like food business.
That's true.
Yeah, so
that's true. A nice cafe
with cigars,
you know, high end, real nice. That had cigars. You know,
imagine if Imperial Cigars had coffee too, and they serve us, you know, coffee.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe even complimentary cigars if they're a member. Oh, that's, you know,
that'd be fantastic. Yeah. So when you got enough capital, you could do stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I am gonna diversify once we get up to, you know, a few $1 million a year. I do want to diversify. I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
I want to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. Just because I think it's good, you know, to diversify. Yeah. I was talking to a guy today. I forgot what he called him. Oh, this was the guy from Freddie Mac. So I was renewing our credentials for Freddie Mac loans. And the big investors for loans is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So I was getting our credentials up and running for Freddie Mac. And he said, oh, you're from Houston? I said, yeah. And he said to me, I was living in Houston back in the oil days. I was working for an oil company. He said, and everybody was making money. There was so much money.
It was a big.
And he said, and when the oil industry got hit hard, he said, I remember being on Hillcroft and Gessner or something like that at the pawn shop. And it was just, you know, the parking lot was full of Mercedes-Benz, and all these guys who had made a lot of money in oil were there pawning off the Rolexes. And they were all in line with the Rolexes, pawning off the Rolexes when the oil industry got hit hard. And I said, wow. Yeah. I said, man, what a mental picture that paints for me. Yep. And I said, well, I guess they were making a lot of money, but they weren't diversifying.
Exactly.
He said one girl he dated that was in the oil industry, and they were making a buttload of money. He said SHIT ton, but I'd say buttload. I don't swear, you know. I'm a Christian man, you know. But they were making a buttload of money, and they had a personal chef that came in, and he would make all this gourmet food for all the staff, personal chef. And so they were living high on the hog when oil was good, but they never imagined the oil industry would take a hit, and they never diversified.
I mean, you know, it takes time to get used to a lifestyle, live that lifestyle, and then realize, you know, you're living such a great life. All of a sudden you take a hit, and then that lifestyle is not maintainable anymore. So yeah, it makes sense. Those people stop getting those gourmet chefs, selling their Rolexes because they can't keep up. Because because we have a big spending problem in America. I think that's one of the big things. So people, most of the time when they have good cash flow, they're like, okay, you know what, it's fine. Next month it will cover me, and they have nothing saved in the bank. Yeah. 401k is empty. You know, they don't save. I was fortunate enough that my family, they save a lot of money. They're known for saving. Anything that goes into the paycheck, 70% of it goes into their 401k. Saving. Wow. So for them, you know, brilliant. Yeah, it's just how it is. And yeah, we have to be careful of living a luxurious lifestyle when we're up there, because then it will. Who knows? Something will affect us, right?
Yeah.
We need that cushion.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be, more teachings and trainings on this, and like Robert Kiyosaki always says, the school don't teach this.
No, they don't.
The school don't teach that. And Jordan Peterson says something very powerful. He said that the American education system was established by fascists, and it was designed to create a nation of factory workers.
That's a very interesting quote.
To make the money for the 1%.
The entrepreneurs. I mean, it makes sense, because imagine dedicating your whole life to becoming an engineer, right? And you just want to be an engineer. You go to this one engineering job, they lay you off because they have too many engineers. It's just how it is. And that's why a lot of people that I know that were once, fully in the engineering business, they actually separated and created their own engineering firm, like their own business, because they couldn't work in a workplace like that. They wanted to have their own workplace, because these are really extremely smart people that learn from when they were younger. Study is not bad at all. It's not a bad thing, right? Study, get a job, go to college, right, and work your life from a 9 to 5, and there's no problem with that. But that's what a lot of people were not forced into, but said it's the safe path. It's the safe way. It's the right path, because it's stable. That's why. Young people.
I spoke with a guy yesterday. He was a high level, in operations and management for Exxon. He was here. He comes here usually every day, and we were talking, and he was saying that in the engineers in the research development department, that's the big thing, is that all of their wit and their innovation and creativity belongs to the company. And if you come up with something while you're on staff with them, it belongs to them, not you. So I understand what you're saying about starting their own company. Yeah,
exactly. Because imagine, look at Apple, right? Who do we think of first when we think the visionary behind Apple? We think of Steve Jobs, the visionary, but it was actually all his engineers. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're happy, they have their market share of the company. They're silent investors working behind the scenes, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But being an entrepreneur versus being a regular 9 to 5 worker, if you're fine with being comfortable, having a good savings, a consistent amount of income, and you don't have too many responsibilities, that's good for you. If you want to have an unlimited potential, right? A lot of responsibilities, a lot of stress, but you create a legacy. That's a different story, right? There's pros and cons to everything. So that's how I see it. But I'm still young, so I have a lot to experience.
By the way, every time you tap the mic,
you can hear it.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So try not to tap them. Yeah. You can tap other things. Actually, I can hear that when I hit that. I hit the boom. Yeah. But that's quite interesting. Reminds me of Patrick, but David talked about an entrepreneur. There's entrepreneurs and intrapreneur. And intrapreneur is someone that works within a company. They don't have the risk. They don't have the responsibility, that the entrepreneur has, but they can still make really good money.
I think that's what we want to strive to be at, right? A person that I think everyone wants that. I mean, why is the stock market created, right? The idea is you put your money in the stock market and it grows every year without you touching it. So everybody wants to be that intrapreneur, the insider, right? Behind the scene, like Batman. And I understand. It's safe in your bat cave with all your technology and whatnot. It's a safe and legacy that you can have. A safe legacy. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah. So let's see. I got talking to some people in other companies that want me to be an entrepreneur for them. But I don't know. I'm just listening because I should listen. You shouldn't be closed-minded. I'm listening, but I really enjoy being an entrepreneur. I have a lot of fun, and I think together with our team we can build something. So we'll see. But I got my ears open. If it's better for me and better for my team, then I'm open to listening.
Yeah,
At least,
yeah.
you know what I mean. But if I think we could do it ourselves and it'd be better for you guys and better for me, then why? You know,
If it's good for you, but you can grow from it, take it. But if you can't grow from it and they cap you or they restrict you, you can't do business as this or that, or they just outright buy you out and subsidize you, then it's if that's fine with you, that you can take it. But yeah, being an entrepreneur, it's stressful, and there are times where a lot of people just give up because of how stressful it is. But that's the pros and cons to everything, right? And that's why,
but we're having a lot of fun working on the business. Stan is doing a lot of great things for the company. I like what you're doing with the website and the videos, the automations and all that stuff. Do you enjoy doing that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I studied for too. So I kind of have to learn, and I do enjoy it. It's making a workflow easier. It's enjoyable to a certain extent, right? Until you start micromanaging, that's not good. You want it to flow, not micromanage. Having too much in a pipeline, you get clogged up, right? So I do like making things flow easier, like a ticket system. Your pipeline page, you click funded and it goes to another sheet, and you can follow up with them later in the future to refinance. Those things are really important.
I don't know even how you did all that stuff. I could never do that in a million years.
Yeah,
I'm still having some problem when somebody sends me a calendar invite. It keeps going to my personal Apple calendar, and I want it to go to my company calendar. But little things like that, they drive me nuts.
Yeah,
Katrina, she's even worse than me, And the fact that you could figure out these things and solve them, it feels like everything that you do, I feel like we just jumped ahead 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know you had Christina on board, and she did a really good job too. She did a really good job. And what I realized about the young people is that we like to make things easier for ourselves. And
I think there's a word for that.
It
starts with the L, ends with a Y.
Yeah, lazy. No, I mean, because we try to make things.
They say laziness is the mother of all inventions.
Yeah. I mean, efficiency really matters, right? Efficiency really, really does matter. And I think that's what IT is all about. Having efficiency, an efficient system in the background where you don't even have to worry. There's this one company, they had an IT team. They were running perfectly. All systems were going smooth. They thought they could do it themselves. And they decided, hey, we can do it ourselves. It's just a click of a button. It's not anything complicated. So they fired the IT team. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because the IT team always has to update the systems.
Just like Trump fired Elon just recently. Big mistake.
Yeah. All the systems have to be updated. Not everything runs as smooth as you think. It's because the team behind that IT team ran it so smooth. They know the bugs. They know the workarounds. They built that system from the ground up. Of course, they know how to do it. And then all of a sudden, a guy comes in, a new CEO comes in. We don't need you. Throw you away. They lose sight of what makes that company so running so smooth. Is because these teams, the teams in behind the scenes. Look at UWM. Why are the systems so good? They don't get DDoSed. So what that means is people sending a bunch of traffic and slowing down the systems. Somebody has to take care of that. They have to take care of hackers. They have to take care of people trying to.
I heard. Yeah. Last time I was there, I heard that there's always this constantly hack attempts against them.
Yeah, all the time. Every big company, Joseph, if we become bigger, right? If you become bigger, the company, we will run into something like that. Somebody might go to Katrina, take her passwords and things and that's really important. An IT security team is really, really important. So yeah, keep that in mind. Security is number one. Now it's
interesting that the chief technology officer at UWM, I met him, I spoke with him, and I got his email. We exchanged a few emails.
Yeah.
Chief Technology Officer, UWM. Let's see. He had an incredible story. From what I understand, his name is Jason Bressler, And from what I understand, he started off at Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate, I haven't heard much about them really in years, but they used to be a big company. And he said it was a toxic environment. He hated it. But he was working for Guaranteed Rate, just helping them out, and I don't think he was really an IT background IT person, but he learned IT helping them out, Guaranteed Rate. And then through that, he became really interested in IT and innovative and creative. And so he ended up, moving up the corporate ladder in the IT world. And now he's the chief tech officer for UWM, the biggest loan company in America. And so it says here he was featured in Housing Wire, a tech trendsetter in 2021. He's created, the AI system there. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's a really important dude in UWM. I mean, without him, they wouldn't have AI technology. They wouldn't have remember with the new update that UWM had that everybody just hated because it just came out of nowhere. Yeah, he was responsible for that. Yeah.
Well, they keep changing the format of their website. That gets on my nerves.
Because here's the thing, though. That's the reason why it's like that is because it has. They don't want to seem like they're stagnant. A lot of companies, when they think of an IT team, they're just sitting there, not doing anything. But in reality, they're trying to trend set. They're trying to update systems, update UI. They don't just want to be stagnant. And it's kind of like a rule. Like if you're in those systems, you gotta keep updating it, keep improving, even if it's unnecessary. I don't know if you heard of Rule 6 Sigma. You're always improving. It's like search it up yourself. It's in Rule 6 Sigma. I learned this
Rule 6 Sigma. It's a data-driven methodology for improving business process by reducing variation and eliminating defects. It's widely used in finance, healthcare, and even mortgage operations. Wow.
Yeah, and I was studying this in school, in university, actually. And I was really interested in this. And I think we can apply this to our company. But it does take some time. It's like not a one-stop shop. It's forever. It's always improving. You don't have a project and you end it. You have a project and you keep improving it until forever. It doesn't stop. It's always growing. It's an amazing.
So this is here an example for mortgages. If your loan processing times show 6 consecutive days of steady increase, even if each is within acceptable limits, Six Sigma tells you to investigate. The rule of 6 helps catch the early signs of bottlenecks. Oh, interesting.
Yep. So let's say we have a lot of loans. All of a sudden, Katrina is bottlenecked. You know what I mean? Because she's the only processor. So then to solve that, you brainstorm, right? You look at the problem and then you apply a solution. So then that is solved. But then another bottleneck would arise later down the line. So it's a cycle of improvement. You're always looking for defects, just like what that explanation was. It's a really good methodology. So you look at one, solve one, onto the next. Solve one, onto the next. Solve one, onto the next. Every single problem, step by step. It's a really good, it's a really good system.
It sounds to me
one by one.
Like what to me it sounds like what it's like being an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
You're constantly solving problems.
But a lot of entrepreneurs, they try to tackle it all at once. This problem here, that problem there. But with Rule 6 Sigma, you solve one problem at a time until.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, because we all focus on that problem. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's really important.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's really important.
I can see why they use that in the IT world too.
Exactly. Right? Focus on one problem. All hands on deck. Right.
Yeah,
it's an important thing. Yeah,
that's incredible. Well, usually, when we do a podcast, Stanley said, "You and Anthony aren't talking all the time," and I said, "Well, And he's like, I don't have much to say. And I said, well, that's because, we're older. We got a lot of stories. But now tonight we're talking about in
My
his
realm
field,
of tech.
and he's schooling us, Matter of fact, if you're watching this and you're over 40, you should be taking notes and learning, because this is the generation that really has to teach us.
Yeah. Because another important thing that I realized is that AI technology has shouldn't be shunned. A lot of people are shunning it, but I think it should be intertwined into our workflow. A lot of people are just saying, we don't want to work with AI. We don't want to use AI. Understandable. You will lose your natural sense of creativity. You'll lose your natural sense of critical thinking. But here's the problem. People who already have that natural sense of critical thinking, natural sense of problem solving, they're going to use this to their advantage. They'll be even faster. Plus, they have the power of AI. So not only are they creative, it will expand even more, because now they can get the data even faster. So now they're 2 times as smart. Does that make sense, Joseph?
Yeah.
Because those talented people aren't shunning this technology. They're innovating it and intertwining with their own talent.
And they're
improving themselves.
Exponentially.
Yes, exactly.
Exponentially becoming even smarter. Yeah.
They use ChatGPT to brainstorm, and they take those ideas and improve it to the next level, because they already have that innate ability.
That's great.
For talent.
That's good. That's
exactly.
Great.
AI is amazing in its own way. I understand why people are scared of it. It's understandable, but just like calculators and iPhones. I mean, would you rather drive to the bank every time you want to deposit a check, or do you want to take a picture and send it?
No. All right, right? Thank God for the picture thing, because I used to have to drive to the bank. Yeah,
exactly. Deposit, manual deposit. It's efficiency. That's what IT is all about.
I love it. Yeah. Love it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. This has been really exciting and interesting. We have a lot going on here at Castle Group Mortgage. We did make some updates to the logo and stuff, and you might be seeing that roll out. And similar to the Six Sigma rule of Six Sigma, as a new company, we're working on every aspect, whether it's website, logos, systems, and we have incredible technology. We have our own AI on the website, which I'm sure some of you guys might have seen. If you haven't, you just missed my post. But if you go to our website, there's a little link on there, and you could get loan questions and answers 24 hours a day. We have also internal technology for loan officers. That's very exciting. So we got a lot of cool things. If you're looking for a job, we are hiring now. So we are hiring and we're excited to train and bring on new loan officers, expand the market. And we have great systems and great support and great technology, tools, micro incubators, one-on-one mentorship, all kinds of things. We have auto dialers and all types of tools to really help you build your own business. So if you're interested in the lending world, you're going to get a lot of support, a lot of love, and a lot of assistance here at Castle Group Mortgage. And if you're looking for a loan, better, faster, stronger, Castle Group Mortgage, close, 6 to 14 days, we'll get you taken care of. So,
yeah. Oh, this month, how many did we close? Last month and this month, I think it was over 10 different closings.
I think it was 18. Katrina said something like
different
18.
closings.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yep, everybody combined. Amina, all the loan officers. That's a crazy amount.
Yeah. And we're just getting started. We just just getting started. So
yeah,
the rates haven't dropped.
No, it hasn't. But
the market's still very busy. So
a lot of
Houston is always going to be busy
all the time. That's what I've noticed. A lot of hard money investors fix and flip, DSCR. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we got guys who are buying almost a house a week.
Yeah, that's
investors
crazy.
Just buying.
I'm trying to speak to an investor right now. Actually, I think I told you about him. Yeah, hopefully we get that through and clear. He's a hard money fix and flip, so hopefully that goes through.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, all right. if they want to do it, it will go through. So hopefully they could crunch the numbers and it'll work for them. And Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate your time.